Down in the Magistrates Court in Perth, proceedings have resumed in that trial against former Treasurer Troy Buswell. He's facing 6 charges related to alleged domestic abuse against his former wife. We're joined this morning by Julian Douglas, 6PR reporter down at the court this morning. Julian, the trial continuing.
It is indeed. This is day 2. There was a bit of a slow start yesterday, a sort of procedural hearing first thing in the morning, where Mr. Buswell's defence team sought the entire employment record of his victim, alleged victim, with the WA police. So everything from the sick days that she took to her disciplinary record, any workplace injuries, all that sort of thing. And the court did accept that summons. So that was about a 3 or 4 inch thick wad of documents that went to both the defence and the prosecutors. And that sort of just first reared its head as I walked out of court. The defence was pinning down the fact that the alleged victim had never filed any sort of injury report or incident report during her time with WA Police. I think it was mentioned in opening statements by the defence team that some of the alleged injuries that she had received may have been from her police work, but there was no report relating to that apparently. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out through the course of the trial.
So defence haven't had a chance to cross-examine Mr. Buswell's ex-wife yet. Is that right, Julian?
That's correct, yeah. So the testimony started yesterday afternoon, about 2:15, but the prosecutors are still going through her testimony and sort of just each of the alleged incidents and sort of mapping out, she has some photographic evidence of bruising and other things that she'd received during the alleged incidents. So they were sort of going through those and mapping out each of the charges and just, I guess, an alleged pattern of abuse that had occurred over the span of their sort of 4.5, 5-year relationship. Now, it was interesting as well during the opening statements yesterday that, they painted very different pictures, the defence and the prosecutors, of what had gone on. Both agreed, in a sense, that it was a dysfunctional relationship. They sort of blamed different causes for where, the alleged injuries may have come from. Prosecutors painted Mr. Buswell as a sometimes abusive and controlling partner and a bit of a bad drunk, whereas drinking was very much a heavy theme. Mr. Buswell's defence team painted the alleged victim as someone who would also fall down drunk and injure herself and then take photos of them and ferret those away for future use. So, it seems like this one, there's a degree of acrimony already and it's still early doors.
Yeah, the cross-examination will be interesting. So it's set down for 3 days, isn't it? So there'll be a fair bit of talking today.
I think originally 3 and then it went to 4 and then both the prosecutors and defence agreed yesterday that it would stretch well past that. I think we're expecting at least a dozen witnesses or so, including Mr. Buswell's mother, the alleged victim's father and a number of other friends, colleagues. Even the alleged victim's daughter will provide some video testimony as well. So, it's going to take a while to play out, this one.
All right. We'll see how those updates go during the week. Thanks very much, Julian. Appreciate that.
Keep you posted. Thanks.
Julian Douglas. We'll have more updates in 6PR's News on the Hour.
In opening statements, a lawyer for Troy Buswell's defence team said domestic violence cases live and die on the credibility of the victim, and it became immediately clear the cross-examination would seek to discredit and diminish the witness's claims of abuse. Tom Percy QC focused on painting the victim's allegations as being motivated more by her finances than her safety, and that any injuries she sustained during the relationship were accidentally self-inflicted during bouts of heavy drinking. Mr. Buswell's ex-wife maintains he assaulted her at least 6 times during their 5-year relationship, allegations he strenuously denies. The trial will resume tomorrow. At Perth Magistrates Court, Julian Douglas, 9 News.